Hey guys, how's it going? This is BobbyKBikes here and welcome to another BobbyKBikes video. Today I've got a wee project that I'm going to show you guys, and here it is. It's an Apollo Excelle. It's a new school bike, which is a bit weird for someone like me to be working with, but it's the whole idea of this project is I'm going to fix it up, sell it, make a bit of money to fund restoring some other bike, like perhaps the Nightburner. I'll show you around the bike, show you what we've got. We have got front and rear suspension, front and rear brakes, and a few other features. I'll tell you what needs doing. We've got a bit of rust down there that I'd like to clean up. I'll maybe, don't know how I'll do it. I'll maybe gently sand it. Maybe go over it with a rag first to take off dirt to separate dust from rust. Dust from rust. That rhymes. Dirt from rust to see what I've really got to do. Down there on the quick release we've got a bit of rust as well. Going to polish up the wheels. I'm also going to put some air in the tyres because they're a wee bit flat. I don't know if it's punctures or not. Well, they're not actually that flat. And I've been away for a week and they haven't gone down anymore, so I don't think we've got any punctures, but I'll stick some air in the tyres and leave it overnight and see what happens. The seat is in good condition. We're missing a grip, but you can buy sets of grips in Asda for about £2, so I'll throw a set of those on. As you can see, the top of the bell is gone, so we'll just remove that bell and throw it away and keep all the wee useful screws and stuff. We've got another bracket here, probably for a light. We can add that to my stock of spare brackets. Chain is absolutely gubbed. I'll come around that side of it. The chain is gubbed. It's not even on the chain rings at the moment. It's pretty seized up. Yeah, that's not pretty. Maybe soak it in engine oil and that for a while. Once I've completely ruined a chain, well, I didn't ruin it because we fixed it, but I really messed up a chain by riding a bike a lot in the winter and wedging it into an embankment of snow and giving it loads of other abuse. But my dad and I spent about 3 days soaking it in engine oil, hitting it with a hammer, setting it on fire, and we eventually got it back to okay condition. If this can't be done with this bike, they do new chains in Asda for about £4, and I think I've got one of those chains in my stock of spares that I used to have on this burner, but then I put a better chain on it. Shimano SIS, or SIS, let's try and get a wee bit of focus there. These are, okay, it's not going to focus. I'm using my old Pentax, so video quality might not be quite as good. Shimano SIS, they're my favourite type of non-Sturmey Archer gears. I just love these shifters that you flick around like that. I don't know why, I like them, they're nice shifters. As you can see, handlebars are not straight, and that's because we're missing 2 bolts from there. Once again, I have a large stock of spare bolts, so we'll rummage through that and see what we can find. The rear brake works alright, the front brake doesn't really. Reflector's a bit skew-with, but that's easily fixed, just need to loosen something, re-angle it, etc. And that's the general overview of the bike. This is the first full suspension bike I've ever owned. I've never had a bike with suspension like this before, so if any, this is what I'm going to ask you guys for help. If any of you guys have worked on full suspension bikes, and if there's anything that I need to watch out for, anything that I might want to do to kind of make the bike just a wee bit more sellable, a bit better, make the suspension work better, can you please tell me what I need to be doing? Again, we've got rust on the fittings down there. Again, maybe just a wee bit of sanding, slap a bit of silver hammerite on that, dunno. And of course got to dust the cobwebs off there. And we should have this bike in respectable order. Oh, and of course we'll maybe repack the bearings and the wheels, and I think my dad said we're probably going to need to repack these bearings here as well. We've done that once before on a bike, on my 1984 Superburner, so I've got a wee bit of experience of that under my belt. As you know, I'm no professional, I'm just a guy who likes to mess around with bikes. So we're going to do I'm going to do a wee series of videos about this bike. I'm going to show you the work that I do on it, and maybe a wee bit of how-to, and then when I've got it ready for selling, I'll maybe do a few tips on how to sell a bike, how to advertise on Gumtree, and then we'll watch and see how the sale goes. Alright, I shall see you in a bit once I've discovered what can be done. Okay guys, I've done a wee bit of work on it now. I'm not sure how well the camera's picking this up because as I said, I'm using my old camera. That's come up quite nicely with a bit of WD-40 and a light sanding with the fine sandpaper. I use Astaglass paper. It's about 90p for a pack of 10, so good price. What else? Yes, that's come up nicely. I'll go and grab my WD-40 and I'll show you how I do it in a minute. I've polished up the handlebars there. There it's not actually looking too bad. I might just gently take a flat blade to it to ping off all the wee spots of rust, but I don't want to scratch it when it's so nice on that side. This side, however, is not looking so pretty. Got rust and the like, so not sure what to do there. That light bracket, the screw head is rusted and it's really difficult to get it out, so my screwdriver wouldn't do it, so I might have to put a hacksaw blade in through there and saw through the thread. What else have we done? We've finally got the chain off. It involved a bit of tugging, a bit of manipulation, but here is the chain, which is off. Going to do the usual, hit it with a hammer, soak it in engine oil, maybe set fire to it, don't know. And we now know that this turns nicely, so we might not need a rebuild there, but we might do it just to give good service. There, that's all spinning nicely. It looks a bit shabby though. Those wee cogs on the derailleur thing, they're turning reasonably alright. This guard thing to protect the derailleur, it's got a few scratches on it obviously, so I might whip that off, sand it down and spray paint it because I've got some pretty good spray paint. If not, I'll give it a coat of Hammerite. And yes, that's about it. I've looked for bolts to fit there, but nothing in my stock of spares is fitting. This is my wee spares case. Great to have one of these. Got all the wee compartments. I've got rubber spacers, and this is our wee trick that I use from Short and Rubber Spacers. If you've ever blown out an inner tube or got one that's just too knackered to repair, get some scissors and cut it up, and you can make rubber spacers for fitting light brackets or bells or whatever. Got spare chain links, nuts, spoke nipples, bearings, cotter pins, plastic nuts, got all sorts. Good stock of spares, but there's nothing in the way of bolts to fit the headset, and the steering feels really nasty, so that's definitely going to have to be rebuilt. Got that horrible bell off, as I may have said, and I've got some spares out of that. So all in all, it's being a productive garage session, and I shall show you more in a bit. Okay, I've now got the front wheel off and I've got it fixed in my maintenance stand. There's no way that the frame fits in this thing, so it's got to be the forks. That's made it a bit easier to work at this end. I've tightened up that reflector, I've fixed the angling, and it's already starting to look a bit smarter. And now, if you bear with me while I pick up my can of WD-40, I shall do a bit more in the way of spraying and gentle sanding. So there's the area in question, and I'll just scoosh with WD-40, and then after I've put it down on my wee tray and I'm sure that it's not going to fall off, we can now take our sandpaper and there we go. That's looking better. We'll do round there too. Lovely. And bring it around the edges, the wee kind of nooks and crannies where the welds meet. That's going to be a difficult place to get in. And let's see. So this camera's really not picking this up very well. I'll walk round, pick up my rag, and wipe all the dirt off, and I'll show you what we've actually done. There. That's how it's actually come up. I'll try and get the camera to focus. Yes, we've got it looking a lot smarter than it was at that end if we just do it a bit more diligently, a bit more care, i.e. doing it when I'm not filming at the same time, and we'll be able to get that looking really nice. And yeah, I feel pleased with my progress. Okay guys, we've taken the chain off, as I may have told you, and we've put some WD-40, we've wire brushed it, and then we've hung it up and sprayed some WD-40 on it and allowed it to just drip down. It's improved it a wee bit, but I'm probably going to soak it in some engine oil. And here's the rest of the bike as it currently stands. That's really cleaned up beautifully. We've got it. I mean, obviously it's not going to be as nice as what's down there covered up by the rubber things, but it looks a lot better than it used to. I've also polished up the forks, and they're looking a lot better. I think with taking a rag and some WD-40 and spraying and polishing this bike, it'll clean up the frame quite nicely. I've taken the other grip off because, like I said, I'm just going to replace them. And here's the old grip. It was missing at the end anyway, and a bit ragged, and I think it was, yeah, had a split in it there. You could always chop it up and make more rubber spacers with it. I don't have the problem of not enough rubber spacers. I've actually got too many. Next thing, I'm going to try and clean this wheel up. Not going to do any kind of inside jiggery pokery today. I'm just going to go over it with my rag and see if I can make the wheel look nicer. Now, what are those? You can see there's 3 little white balls there. I'll try and focus the camera. Yes, there. I'm not sure what they are. Eggs maybe? Rice Krispies? Aluminium rock? I don't know. Let's see what we can do anyway. And there we go. I've cleaned up the rim. It looks a lot better on camera than it does in real life. There's still a few wee marks in it. I might give it another repolish up, but it certainly looks a lot better than it did before. It's not covered in brake dust. I might go over the hub again as well, because it's not exactly beautiful. And as you know, on these bikes there's a wee guard bit that bolts on there that stops that from getting damaged. The bike falls over. I've given that a coat of spray paint, so I'm going to go and give it another coat of spray paint, and I think that should be about it for this bike vlog. Taken the seat off, polished up the seat post. Seat's in good condition, it just really needs to be cleaned up a bit. I think this project is being a success. This is BobbyKBikes. Hope you've enjoyed this. You have a good day. I'll see you in the next vlog. Goodbye.